DA Fani Willis breaks her silence, goes on record for the first time after the ruling that says, hey, I can't disqualify her because you did not prove there's a conflict with the defendant. Let's do it this way. Put up the picture full mass. She said some interesting comments and talked about it being about courage. I tend to agree. The Fulton County DA, Fani Willis, and her office distributed Easter baskets at College Park on Saturday for the 5th consecutive year. They do this every year. This is not some publicity stunt. This is something that the DA has done for years. This initiative, marking the ongoing partnership with WAVE, which is We All Value Excellence, aimed to bring joy to families in need. With millions watching and many people benefiting from this program called Indisputable, we just need 1% of the viewers to become a paid member so we can continue to bring this content to you. Now back to the show. Amidst the festivities, all right, the atmosphere, all eyes were on DA Willis, who spoke publicly in Atlanta for the first time since a judge ruled in her favor on the motion to disqualify her and her office from the Georgia election interference case. Willis emphasized her commitment to upholding justice. Quote, there's one district attorney in the state and really around the country that has had the courage to do this, and she continues to do it, end quote. Reflecting on the recent legal proceedings, Willis clarified, quote, the case landed in Fulton County, not by anything that I did, but by the actions of others. And when a case lands in my jurisdiction, that's the end of that. Willis and her office investigated former President Donald Trump and his allies for 2.5 years for attempting to change the results of the 2020 election. This happened in Georgia. It happened in Fulton County by way of many Fulton County residents and elected officials before a grand jury decided to hand down a sweeping indictment against Trump and 18 others, August 2023. Now put up the 3 who we have routinely talked about, but none of them are on trial. Nathan Wade has resigned. The judge has made the ruling. There is no disqualification. And Fani Willis is empowered by the people to prosecute on behalf of the people crimes that are done inside of Fulton County. In January, one of Trump's co-defendants, Michael Roman, you see, he's the actual center of attention. Michael Roman filed a motion to have Willis disqualified over her romantic relationship with former special prosecutor Nathan Wade. Now keep those pictures up. The motion should have been dismissed on day one. The reason is because a motion has to follow certain rules. You have to make a statement of fact, a statement of constitution, but you had neither. There was no statement of fact. It was a statement of rumor. There was no allegation of a constitutional violation of Mr. Roman. It should have been dismissed for a lack of actual grounds to file, but it was not. Roman and others alleged that not only did Willis and Wade break the rules by keeping their relationship secret, but Willis also benefited financially by hiring Wade to prosecute the case. Willis and Wade took the stand in Fulton County to deny that they had done anything improper and insisted Willis paid her fair share of expenses during their relationship and that she did not profit from hiring Wade or prosecuting the case. And I'm going to say this, the defense was well aware you cannot prove commingling of funds. So much so they never produced a forensic accountant as an expert in order to proclaim how Mr. Wade and Ms. Willis somehow exchanged money. That was problematic, okay? Now, they wanted to muddy the waters, and they did. Fulton County Superior Court Judge McAfee ultimately decided that there was insufficient evidence to prove claims of financial benefit, but he did rebuke Willis for what he called, quote, a tremendous lapse in judgment, end quote. He also ruled that either Willis would need to recuse herself or Nathan Wade would have to go. Hours later, he did in fact resign. Willis also spoke to CNN about the move to have her disqualified. Willis told CNN that she did not think her reputation needed to be reclaimed and that she had not done anything embarrassing. Quote, "I'm not embarrassed by anything I've done," Willis said. "I guess my greatest crime is that I had a relationship with a man, but that's not something I find embarrassing in any way," end quote. In other Trump-related news, according to CNBC, Trump's bond for the fraud case has been reduced to a cool $175 million. Guess what? He ain't got it. He don't have that either. He won't have 175 million. He won't have 400 plus. He won't have 500 plus once the 120% is allocated. He doesn't have any of it. It's going to be interesting to see what happens here. And we got another trial happening with Trump and the payoff scandal in April. DA Fani Willis said that she only needs 30 days to prosecute him in Fulton. It looks like they're trying to get at him properly. All right, Rickey, how do you see all this, man? A lot of twists and turns.
I think I have more questions than a comment, Dr. Richey. I know you good, when it comes to the law. Dr. Richey, do you think any of these things will go to trial before the election? And number two, will it have an effect on the election? And will they start going after his property? Will anything happen before the election? That's my. I think this segment is being better off, sir, but you answered that because that's what people really want to know.
Absolutely. I do think he gets a couple of trials in before the election. I'm talking about criminal trials. Fulton County has an opportunity. Manhattan is moving forward. But here's the irony of it. Let's say he does get convicted. Because remember, Rickey, he only needs to get convicted of one felony, right? Right. Because according to the law in every state, once you are a convicted felon and serving your sentence, meaning you're either A, in prison or B, on parole, but if you are under the sentencing of the conviction, you're unable to vote. You are also unable to be on the ballot. You cannot run for public office, nor can you vote for somebody who is running for public office if you have that felony conviction and it is enduring. So the question is, Rickey, do they change the rules in Republican states in particular? Do they change the law just for one man? Or do they follow the same rules and say, sorry, Mr. Trump, you're not qualified to be on the ballot per the rules of a convicted felon status?
It just seemed like the United States Supreme Court has his back, Dr. Richey. I think they made a ruling on, if I'm not mistaken, in Colorado, keeping him off the ballot in Colorado. So I don't think nobody else will try to send anything up to the Supreme Court.
We'll see. Colorado is a little different, but a little different, only because Colorado, and I believe the Supreme Court was wrong in how they ruled, especially given case law that pre-exists. But Colorado was trying something kind of new. And the court said, nope, not going there. And they didn't overturn what the Colorado court found, which was Trump is, in fact, an insurrectionist, and he can still run for president. Now, the statutory rule of being a convicted felon, that's been on the books for decades. Some states have had it for more than 100 years. So we're going to see if they're able to overcome that. But I'll tell you this, Doc, it seems as if every rule, every law, every statute, this individual somehow breaks the barrier. All right.
Yeah, I agree.
Yep.